Caitlin, a quiet start to our work week here across the state. Temperatures running much closer to average for this time of year. Mike Slifer and for Scott Haney, who's off this week. First Alert Live Radar, Connecticut's only live radar, scanning the skies. And outside of maybe a stray sprinkle across the quiet corner, things have been quiet and dry for us. We're beginning to see clouds erode too, which means more sunshine on the way. Off to our west, though, keeping an eye on some of these light snow showers. We do not expect any of those to make it here, but it does sort of go to show that we're still going to be dealing with clouds as we continue through the week. Maybe not quite as bright as it was at times last week, but certainly still not looking all that wet either. Temperatures for most of us will be in the 30s as we begin the day away from the shoreline. Along the shoreline, we still have some 40s out there. Water temp on Long Island Sound now up to 45 degrees, and we'll start to see that climb much more significantly over the next several months as we start to mix in those warmer and eventually hotter days. Here's where the cold air has made its way all the way down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Memphis, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, even Washington, D.C. right now coming in at 45 degrees. And this push of colder air across the central United States means that we will be running below average as we get a little later into the week. Currently, if you're heading out to to work, sending your kids out to the bus stop, jackets necessary, recess outside today. The ride home, temps will be right around 50 degrees. That's what we're expecting to top out at today. But wind gusts will also ramp up, 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts combined with the drier weather. We haven't greened up across the state just yet, and the very low relative humidity we're expecting means that if a fire were to spark today, it could actually spread fairly easily. So while we're not anticipating true fire weather conditions, just something to keep in mind as the day goes on. First Alert Futurecast showing that front that worked its way through over the weekend and brought some showers on Sunday. We're dry throughout the day tomorrow too, and then late tomorrow evening we'll be watching this next storm system approach. This is the cold front that will swing through on Wednesday, bringing our next chance for some isolated showers. Really doesn't appear to be too big of an issue. Tomorrow, we're expecting highs to only be in the mid and upper 40s, whereas today will be around 50 degrees. So tomorrow slightly below average for this time of year, and again, certainly chillier than what we've experienced as of late. We've already picked up 4.77 inches of rain so far this month. That's more than we tend to see in the month of March. A very wet start to 2024, and not a very snowy season. We had a trace of snow in November and December, 15.5 inches in January, slightly above average. February, well, we were back below with 8.5 inches. And so far this month, only a trace. And as we get closer and closer to the start of April, it gets more and more difficult to actually see any sort of significant snowfall across Connecticut. So for today, 45 to 50 inland, low 50s along the shoreline. Average high for the Hartford area today, 48 degrees. Temperatures tonight at or below freezing inland. Along the shore, we'll likely see 30s under partly cloudy skies. And on your First Alert 7-day forecast here, almost every single night this week will likely be at or below freezing, so something to keep in mind there. Spring officially begins tomorrow with the vernal equinox occurring at 11:06 in the evening. An isolated shower possible on Wednesday, perhaps breezy, but look at Thursday. Temperatures statewide in the lower half of the 40s and windy, so it's going to feel even colder out there. Less wind on Friday, fairly bright, a pretty nice end to the work week with temperatures in the mid and upper 40s. And then by Saturday, we're giving you the first alert to potentially some rain showers. But this whole First Alert 7-day forecast is very different than what we've experienced so far this month. Every single red square here is a day where the high temperature was above average. Look at this. Last week we saw 60s and 70s across the state. Not in the cards this week. However, there are some signals that as we get later into next week, we could actually warm things right back up. So Kate, a taste of reality this week. We'll see how things trend as we approach the last week of the month.
All right. Thanks, Mike.